The following content is a technical analysis on Take-Two, a company of the technology sector in electronic gaming and multimedia, in which I will be deep diving into the much larger outer layer time intervals within the weekly and then ultimately zooming in to the daily interval. Well, we had some big headlines rock the company space, where Take-Two Interactive Software's subsidiary Rockstar Games disclosed on Monday evening that the hotly anticipated Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer had completely leaked. And I believe it was a employee's son that leaked the video, in which Morgan Stanley has continued to pound the drum that Grand Theft Auto 6 is the most pivotal catalyst for Take-Two within the last decade, where analysts express a predominant concern regarding the uncertainty surrounding the release date, with some fearing a potential release date as late as of 2026. And we had a huge rip-roaring rally, and looking like, in fact, it would be a bull flag, bullish continuation pattern with an additional flagpole met to the top of that range around the 196.19 price resistance. And it looks like the momentum is beginning to wane within the weekly interval. We have a well-defined advanced bearish continuation pattern that is beginning to wane momentum as the candle closes begin to low on a smaller chop to the upside. And I believe we are gearing up towards a critical inflection point, one of the more well-defined advanced bearish block setups, and I believe that will increase the odds for potential downside move to come. We have the daily upon zooming into the daily interval, and I have this primary reactionary uptrend line, which could correlate with the weekly. And what we have is a primary major reactionary high downtrend line based upon the 2021 January reactionary highs, cuts through the top of the 2021 reactionary high right before Jerome Powell's fastest rate hike in history, and that was preceded by a 54% crash to the downside, gearing up towards 2022 into the year 2023. We are at a key inflection point with major price resistance up above, where you could set some additional stops up above, open up a scale-in short trade position for a great risk-reward ratio down to 153.82. And what we have here geared up in the weekly time frame is a moving average convergence bullish crossover with nice green candle close prints above the zero line threshold on the oscillator histogram, with again a confirmed bullish crossover in the price percent oscillator. And long traders, bullish traders, they want to see a solid weekly candle strong close above this key inflection point, which I would gear into the rising odds that it would be a green infused candle of squeezing out a ton of shorts and a solid big break move to the upside, only increasing the odds for a potential backtest and or retest of that primary reactionary high downtrend line and a big move up across. Short sellers, bear traders, they want to, and these would be your key inflection points to hone in on and or target up above. Even upon rallying another 2.5% to the upside, would offer the utmost, most valuable short trade position in the risk reward arena analysis to knock that first target at 153.82 price support for a 5% crash on a complete backfill of the gap down to 7.3 on a 7.3% crash to the downside, ultimately retesting and rechallenging the 50 exponential 50-day moving average upon the 145.82 for a 9.8% crash, 143.41 for an 11.3% crash, and a revisit of this minor reactionary uptrend line for a 14.2% crash in correlation of the 136.55 price support there, especially if you're bullish going into 2025, offering the utmost, most greatest risk reward ratio long trade setup to the upside upon revisiting if and when we come across that key juncture. Call it a duo line of transitioning points that would need to be defended heavily by long traders and or bull traders at all costs. And when it comes to Wall Street and those anticipating a Grand Theft Auto 6 catalyst, it's crucial not to underestimate how disoriented and delusioned both the masses and Wall Street can become. The potential for collective rush towards exit doors can intensify as reality starts to set in.